Have you ever wondered how cybersecurity breaches happen, even with state-of-the-art technology in place? Today, we're going to delve into the fascinating world of social engineering and physical attacks. These are not your typical tech-based attacks. No, these exploits are far more cunning and deceptive. They lay their foundation on the manipulation of the most unpredictable factor in any security system, the human element. Social engineering and physical attacks primarily focus on exploiting human psychology rather than weaknesses in software or hardware. Think about it. Why would an attacker spend hours, days, or even weeks trying to crack a complex code when they can simply manipulate someone into giving them the access they need? These tactics are often overlooked because they don't involve complex code or high-tech devices, yet they're extremely effective. And all because they target the most vulnerable part of any security system, the people. Intriguing, isn't it? How human psychology can become the weakest link in the chain of cybersecurity. What exactly does social engineering mean in the context of cybersecurity? This question leads us into the fascinating world of psychological manipulation, where cybercriminals exploit the most vulnerable part of any system, the human factor. Let's dive in. Social engineering in cybersecurity is the art of manipulating, influencing, or deceiving individuals to gain control over their computer systems or to access confidential information. It's all about exploiting human psychology rather than technical hacking techniques. Now you might be thinking, really? Can this actually happen? Well, let's take a look at a notorious case. Kevin Mitnick. Mitnick, once one of the FBI's most wanted because he hacked into 40 major corporations just for the challenge, was a master of social engineering. He didn't always need to touch a keyboard to gain access to a system. Often he just used his voice and a telephone. Mitnick would pose as a trusted figure like an employee or a vendor to manipulate his targets. He'd call up, for example, a network administrator pretending to be a colleague in distress. With a convincing story, he'd ask for certain confidential information like a password. Empathy, trust, the desire to help a coworker in need, Mitnick exploited these natural human tendencies to get what he wanted. He wasn't just good at pretending, though. Mitnick was also an excellent listener. He'd pick up on subtle cues or pieces of information during conversations, storing them away for future use. This technique, known as pretexting, allowed him to build convincing narratives that disarmed his target's suspicions. But here's the clincher. Mitnick's actions were illegal and unethical. Yet they serve as a stark reminder of how easily our good intentions can be twisted against us. So, as we can see, social engineering is not just about technology, it's about understanding and exploiting human behavior. It's about recognizing that sometimes the weakest link in cybersecurity isn't a faulty firewall or an outdated antivirus program, it's us. Now, let's shift our focus from the virtual world to the physical one. What happens when the attack comes from within? When we speak of cybersecurity, we often envision hackers hunched over keyboards, infiltrating networks from remote locations. Yet, there is another type of threat that we don't discuss as much, but is as potent, if not more so. This threat is known as a physical attack. Physical attacks involve an attacker gaining physical access to a device or a network to compromise its security. This could be as simple as someone walking into an unattended office and plugging in a malicious USB drive, or as complex as an insider tampering with server hardware. To truly understand the potential damage of physical attacks, let's consider the infamous case of Stuxnet. Stuxnet was a malicious computer worm that caused substantial damage to Iran's nuclear program. The fascinating aspect of Stuxnet was how it infiltrated the system. Instead of exploiting digital vulnerabilities, the worm was introduced into Iran's nuclear facility through a USB drive. This was a physical attack in its purest form. The worm was able to bypass all digital defenses because it was introduced directly into the system. It's akin to a Trojan horse, bypassing the walls of a fortress not by breaking them down, but by being invited in. The impact was devastating. The worm sabotaged Iran's nuclear program and set it back by several years. This case study underscores the potential damage of physical attacks. They can cripple infrastructure, disrupt operations, and cause significant harm. Physical attacks exploit human error and oversight. They take advantage of our tendency to prioritize digital security while neglecting the physical aspect. They remind us that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and in the realm of cybersecurity, that weakest link can often be a physical one. So as we strive to fortify our digital defenses, let's not forget the physical ones. let's not overlook the threat that could be lurking in our very own offices or homes. Because, as the Stuxnet case has shown us, physical attacks, though often overlooked, can be as devastating as their virtual counterparts. Now that we've explored the world of social engineering and physical attacks, what are the key points to remember? Social engineering, as we've learned, is an art of manipulation, where the attacker plays with the victim's trust and emotions to gain unauthorized access to sensitive information or systems. This is not a technology-driven attack, but one that exploits human vulnerabilities. The primary defense against social engineering attacks is awareness and education. Understanding the various tactics used by attackers such as phishing, pretexting, baiting, and tailgating can help you recognize and thwart these attacks. Physical attacks, on the other hand, are a tangible threat. They involve direct interaction with hardware or systems, like tampering with network equipment or stealing devices to gain access to data. While these attacks may seem less sophisticated, they can be equally devastating. The defense against physical attacks lies in robust security measures, such as secure storage for hardware, CCTV surveillance, and biometric access controls. A common thread between social engineering and physical attacks is the human factor. Both exploit human weaknesses, trust, and physical access. Therefore, a crucial part of cybersecurity is fostering a security-conscious culture. This involves regular training and awareness campaigns to educate users about potential threats and best practices to prevent them. Finally, remember that no system is fully secure. The aim is to make it as difficult as possible for an attacker to succeed. This involves a combination of technological measures like firewalls and encryption, and human-focused strategies, such as maintaining physical security and promoting awareness of social engineering tactics. So, the key takeaways? Be aware of the various tactics used in social engineering and physical attacks. Practice vigilance in your interactions, both online and offline, and foster a culture of security consciousness in your environment. Remember, cybersecurity is not just about technology. It's about understanding human behavior and maintaining physical security. Stay vigilant, stay safe.